Coach, how are those cornerbacks looking? Are they coming along like you're hoping?
Yes, sir. They are working every single day. I appreciate their attitude. We have some good leadership, some guys that play some meaningful snaps in Al Walcott and Mark Milton. And you have some young talent in Chateau Reed and A.J. McCarty and Tevin Williams. And so those guys are working, and every day we're just getting a little bit better and understanding how to play in this system and how to work every day.
AJ really came on last year. How much does that help him going into this year, getting that kind of experience there late in the year?
Yes, I think just playing with confidence, and the more reps you get, the more confident you get. The one thing that you know about AJ is going to play hard. And now it's just controlling it and understanding exactly what I'm supposed to do. But he's going to play hard. This means a lot to him. And so now we're trying to build the other things of make sure I come in and study more film and watch it and be a student of the game. The guys like Jalen Petrie, Terrell Bernard, those guys left a great example. And so those guys have something to follow.
What's the importance of having guys who have that experience like Al and Mark back, and kind of knowing who you can count on in that area?
Well, I think the more games you play, the more relaxed you are going into the game. Sometimes when you're young, you kind of psych yourself up and try to think of it's more than what it is, and it's just, hey, relax and play. Do what you do in practice, and if you do practice at the fast level like we talk about, then everything will be fine. But it's a comfort for those guys, and I think the team can look to those guys like Mark and Al for confidence of like, hey, they've done this before.
Do you feel like the group of DBs you have this year can be as good as the group you had last year?
You know what? We're not worried about the whole last year thing. Our focus is every day just get a little bit better. And then at the end of the season, we can kind of talk about that. But right now, we're just so focused on, hey, like, be you and get better every single day.
Are there certain points throughout spring where you said, okay, this date I like us to have this, or this date I like to be able to measure this, or things like that? Do you set that, or do you kind of do more free-flowing?
Well, you know, we always want great energy. We want great execution. Okay, and we want that edge, and that's our goals every day. But we'll get in a circle, and we talk about, hey, what is each guy trying to improve on? And everybody has an idea of like, hey, this is what I want to get better at. Then we'll also talk in a group of like, hey, what do we want to see from this group today? And so everybody can talk about it, and kind of we can take ownership. Everybody can take ownership of like, hey, this is what we said pre-practice. Let's do it.
You talked about Mark and Al. What are each of those guys' strengths?
You know, Al brings a physical presence. You know, you saw him blitz, you saw him making plays, you saw him tackling, and so he brings that physical presence. Mark can run, but also has some savvy of playing, executing the defense, crack replacing, playing in zones, and so both those guys bring different things to the table. But we need both.
Was Chateau a guy that you knew was coming, that kind of thing? Or?
Yes, you know, Chateau is constantly just getting better and better and better. And you could see in the offseason wanting to come and talk a little bit more ball and get on the board and understand what's going on. And I think he's understanding the off the field, everything that you do off the field, and studying and learning and understanding the system is going to help you on the field.
There's a certain level of swagger and confidence, almost cockiness, to be a corner and be on an island. Do you feel like this group has that? And if not, how do you kind of build that before the season?
Well, I think confidence comes from doing it, you know, reps of doing it right. And so I think the more and more you make plays, the more and more you come to practice and you practice the way you should. You're going to get balls caught on you. You're going to miss things. But if you go at the right speed and your eyes in the right spot, you can take the small wins and you keep growing. And so for us, we just want to continue to grow and practice the right way.
What would you say is the biggest area of growth this group needs to go through with this?
I think like a day like this where it's warm, of fighting. I think that's anything. It's just like no matter what, you might not be your fastest because you got a strain or something. You're not 100%, but you're going to fight. And so what we want from our guys is just continue to fight every single day and compete.
Just because you coached him last year, were you surprised when you saw what Kalen was able to do running? Did you see that speed in practice?
Oh yeah, you know Kalen can run. We all knew that, you know, and so we were just kind of waiting to see what time it was, but he can really run. God has blessed him with serious speed.
What were those big? What do you take away from the spring? What's that big thing that you see in a scrimmage that maybe day-to-day in practice?
Well, what you want to see is in scrimmage, like when you're here practicing, things that showed up consistently. When it goes over there to the stadium and there may be people in the stands or a little different environment, that guys can stay consistent and keep doing what you're doing, not trying to do too much, not doing minimal mistakes that you weren't doing during the week, and so just trying to stay consistent. So.
And my mom, she doesn't really like the name Al because that's not what she named me. My real name is Al Fahim, but on the field y'all call me Al, I don't mind. But she likes Al Fahim. That's what she named me. So.
What is the name?
Al Fahim.
Al-Trahim.
Al Fahim.
How do you spell that?
Alfahim.
So she doesn't like Al.
I mean, she just said that's not what she named me. That's all. That's all.
He needs no introduction.
Yeah.
Questions?
Any questions?
Well, you're one of the veterans now.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
What do you feel like maybe your role is out there? What do you got to like show out there?
Honestly, I feel like I have to show I know the defense and I can help any calls in the defense. You know what I'm saying? Be able to help the backers or in the safeties in the back end. I feel like they shouldn't be the ones to make the calls. I feel like as corners, as a veteran, I feel like we should be able to know the stuff and be able to help them with the calls.
How much did that experience last year help you? You know, you were starting by the end of the year and significant gains, obviously.
I'm gonna be honest, it helped a lot because when you're actually out there, it's different between practice on the field and in the game. When you're out there on the game, everything's moving so much faster and everything's like just way faster. So I mean, that experience and actually feeling it, I feel like now I know what's to come, and I feel like I believe we're gonna have a better season.
Did it slow down by?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
championship
definitely.
game, bowl game?
Yeah, it slowed down, especially when you know the defense. I feel like everything slows down. When you know the stuff, it slows down.
Was there a moment or a play from that season where you almost like clicked a little bit and you're like, okay, like?
I'll share y'all though, but I feel like the Sugar Bowl, my pick. I'm gonna be honest, when I was running, I feel like I blacked out. I didn't even know I was running. I'm gonna be honest. All I know, I was just trying to run for my life and score and help the team in any type of way. But I feel like the Sugar Bowl, like, wow, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I can help the team.
You're not a guy who looks up at the scoreboard to see if anyone's chasing you?
I actually did. That's why I kept looking back and everything. I looked and kept looking back. I was like, all right. Yeah.
Have you noticed a difference now that you have that newfound confidence, kind of now that you know you can do it? Are things different at practice?
Yes. Well, most definitely. I feel like I can go out there and do anything that I put my mind to. And with that confidence, I feel like I could pass it down to the younger guys, which already have that type of confidence, which is great for them as younger guys, because when they do step into that veteran role, they're going to be just perfect and executing everything that they need to.
Have you had to adapt to become that type of leader on the field and maybe a vocal leader? Or is that something that comes naturally?
Yeah, I think I had to adapt because I'm not really a talkative guy, really. So I really had to adapt to it. And I had people tell me, like, I have people that do look up to me. And, you know what I'm saying, I have a significant role on this team. So that really helped me, you know, take that leadership role in the room or even on the team.
What do you like about playing cornerback? Obviously, it's a very hard position. What do you like?
I feel like it's the hardest position, personally. And I feel like it challenges me as a player and as a person mentally, you know what I'm saying? Because as a corner, you have to really, really be technically sound in what you do, because our receivers these days are very, very talented, especially ours. I believe we got the best, but I'm not going to speak on that. But, yeah.
Is there any younger guy in particular that you've seen do a lot better in the spring than you thought they would do?
Those two coming up next. I believe AJ and Chateau, they really they're really stepping up, you know what I'm saying? Even as leaders, even though they're younger guys, redshirt sophomores, you know, they're really stepping up as a leader as well, even at that young age.
Even off that question a little bit, are there some traits in those young guys that you see and you're like, oh, that reminds me of that guy who I played with and this guy who
Oh yeah, dog. They got dog mentality. Like, they're not gonna back down. If they lose a rep, they're gonna tell you to come back. If they lose a rep, they're gonna tell you to come back. If they lose a rep, they're gonna tell you to come back. And I feel like that dog mentality is really gonna take them a long way.
As you fight against the receivers, what have you seen maybe out of that side of the room as a DB?
May you say that again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you go against the receivers on your team. What have you seen out of that group? Maybe from the defensive side of the ball that stands out to you.
That's a good question. Sheesh. May I come back to that one?
Yeah,
May I come back to that? That's actually because the receivers are really, really talented. So I give them that. I'll come back to that
Would
one.
there be a little bit of chip on y'all, particularly the DB's shoulders? Outside perspective is going to be with all that you lost, that might be the weakness. Will there be a little bit of chip on your shoulder about that?
Maybe, but at the same time, no, because we know what to expect. We, especially coming from off of last year, we know what to expect. The guys that left last year, they taught us and everything. We watched them and what they did, so we know what to expect. And now we just need to go out there and execute it. So I don't really believe we have really a chip on our shoulders, because I know we can go out there and do it. So.
How good are the receivers?
Man, they make us work every day. Like those guys are really, really talented in how they go in and out their route. Like I really do appreciate it. Gavin, Seth, Armani, all of them. They really, really talented. And I can't wait to see what they do this year.
Now that you've gotten those reps that you talked about and the game's kind of slowed down, what's the next step for you?
My eye discipline is very important, especially as a DB, and my technique. So just working on those this year will help me a lot and slow the game down even more. So.
To make your mom happy, what's the origin of your first name, Al-Fahim, and any background to that?
She had a teacher. She had a professor, a teacher in New York when she went to school, and he was like a mentor, and he passed away in a car accident. So it just, I guess she liked it.
What's the mindset coming out spring? Just with some of the losses y'all have had, about some of you other guys stepping up.
So pretty much my mindset is just to get better every day. There's everything. There's something you're not going to be a perfect player. You know what I'm saying? So there's everything. There's a day that you can work on something specifically. So today I was working on technique. Tomorrow I'll probably work on footwork and stuff like that. So.
What have you learned maybe from some of the veteran cornerbacks here?
So pretty much, because I didn't really, during the games and stuff, I didn't really play, you know what I'm saying? So, but from watching them, when they get caught on something like that, it's just that was the last play, you know what I'm saying? So it's a different mindset, you know what I'm saying? You, say if you get caught on, you're all right, that's it, you know what I'm saying? Next play, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Al talked about you guys having that dog mentality. What is that for you, and where does that come from?
So that really, I ain't gonna lie. So coming out of high school, I played offense, you know what I'm saying? So I came in and I was just I was kind of out of it. I came in playing safety, and then I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what dog mentality was, and they switched me over. And that whole year I was watching Terrell, Petey, Boogie, Al, all of them. It was intense practice every day, you know what I'm saying? It was every day. So just watching them, learning from them, that's when I kind of went under their wing, and then I just started changing my mind, everything, cause I wasn't really a physical dude either. So I'm hitting, I'm getting bruises everywhere and stuff like that, and I'm just keep them coming, you know what I'm saying? Keep them coming, stuff like that.
You're obviously a little taller than the typical cornerbacks that we see. How do you feel like that gives you the advantage?
Got long arms, so I can jam them, fall away, stay away, stay on top. Long strides, I can run. To be real athletic.
You talked about how you played offense. Do you use some of that mentality when you're lining up against the receiver, trying to think about, okay, what are they thinking, and kind of how that kind of works into that?
Well, in high school, it was kind of I was just athletic, so you know what I'm saying? So I just jumped and everything. I just ran faster than everybody. But using it for defense, when it's jump balls and stuff, I have the mentality thinking it's my ball too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to just keeping them away from the ball. I'm trying to get an interception.
You talked about how when you're in high school and you're super athletic, and sometimes you can just use that to your advantage. Is there a moment where you learned, okay, the technique has to catch up because I'm not just gonna out-athlete everyone?
Yeah. So I know, everyone's athletic over here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's athletic. And then my freshman year, I came in and I had no technique. I didn't know how to backpedal and you know what I'm saying, open up. I couldn't do none of that. So the whole year, that's pretty much all I worked on and stuff like that. And then now I feel I can, that gave me the edge.
Do you like the challenge of playing cornerback? Everybody says it's always the hardest spot.
I feel like it is the hardest spot because the receivers, they're like pretty much they're like so talented. You know what I'm saying? They got footwork. They're faster. Sometimes they can be faster than you, and you know what I'm saying. Just like if you just know what you're doing though, like footwork wise, like your footwork and how to jam, and it's just like it's kind of like an art. You know what I'm saying? So like you can compete with anybody if you just know what you're doing.
Did they tell you coming in, or did you know you were going to switch to defense, or when did you
Yeah.
find that out?
So they recruited me and they was like, yeah, pretty much you're gonna be like an athlete and stuff, but we're probably gonna have you like a safety or like corner or something. Like we're gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, cool. That was my only big offer. So I was like, I'm down with it. I'm down for whatever.
You running back, receiver? What?
I was a receiver.
So what do you like about moving over to the defensive side? Is there an area where you kind of like can embrace that part of it?
Well, I feel like, I don't know. I just got real comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? I just watching everybody else in front of me, just watching them do what they did. It just like I was like, I want to do that too. Like watching Al, I saw him like suplex somebody last year, and I practiced, and I was like, dang, that's me. I want to do that. I want to do that.
So off of that, is there a guy? Obviously, you have your own style, but is there a guy you try to like model your game after, or are you really like, okay, I want to do this like him and things like that?
Not really. I just kind of try to focus on myself. I don't really watch like the NFL. Like I didn't grow up watching the NFL or anything like that. I ain't got a favorite team or nothing. I just try to go out there and just be myself.
Oh, how do you feel about this group of cornerbacks you guys have? You feel like you have enough experience, enough talent?
Right now, as everything's looking, I say that we have plenty of talent to go out there and do what we were able to do last year. With the veterans that we have that's coming back, I think they're in a good position to lead the position group. And then, the younger guys, me, Chateau, Tevin, we right now we're still kind of in the building phase. That's what spring is for. But it's going really good, So I think once we keep doing what we're doing and putting the pieces together, then we're gonna end up having a really good position group for real.
AJ, whether it was special teams or some on defense, do you feel like you got enough experience that'll help you coming into this year?
Oh yes, sir. Last year I didn't really play on defense at all. I got a game maybe 2 times, but in special teams, that's where I was trying to make my money. And just being on the field, I really think helps calms your nerves down, even if it's not defense or offense, but just being on the field, playing fast and running and doing all that, I really think that builds your confidence to be on the field, like be able to play faster, play smarter, and do the things that you need to do to get the job done.
Plus, Al talked about how whenever he started to get more playing time, he realized how fast the game was.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that y'all can emulate that or have that feeling in a practice, or is it just something the game experience brings?
I think practice is the best simulation of a game, obviously, but it's never going to be as fast as the game just because adrenaline's there and there's just the competitive edge that everybody has when they're on the field. The speed on the field, I think, is just faster. You just gonna have to, in practice, you're gonna really have to work your technique. You're gonna really have to work your eyes and everything, do everything right. So when it gets to the game, it will slow it down for you.
Is there a moment where the game kind of slowed down a little bit for you, even on special teams?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Me personally, I'm always a competitor, and I always want to go and do this, and I'm always moving, and so I really think just after the very first time I ever got on the field, my freshman year, after that, the nerves were gone. I'm ready.
What do you like about the challenge of playing cornerback? Because everybody always says it's the hardest
Yeah.
position.
Well, same as Chateau, I had played receiver in high school my entire life. And so coming over here, they recruited me as a cornerback. When I came, it was bad. I ain't gonna sit here and say it was all good. My feet just wasn't good. But I've always been really athletic. So just being able to move with them, I was able to do. Just the technique was just shot. I forgot your question.
Just the challenge of playing.
Okay, yeah.
Why it's so difficult. Yeah.
I think personally it's because the receiver, they know what they're doing and they work on their moves all the time and their route combinations and the play is designed for them to know what they're doing. The whole time we're playing defense, we don't know. So they can go this way or that way and we have to adjust to it real quick, just react off of it. I really think that's really the hardest part about being a corner, just reacting off his movement and going where he's going because you don't know.
How different has this spring been? Now you've had some game experience. You've been a corner for a little while now. How different has it been?
It's different, especially for me, because like I'm starting to see the bigger picture of everything, and everything's starting to click. So it's like I'm locked in. You know, when I was first here, it was kind of like everything's going too fast. I don't really know what's going on here. I don't really know what's going on here. I'm just trying to play fast, but like it don't look just like how it's supposed to look because I don't really know what I'm doing. So the difference is just me knowing and being able to put it onto the field.
Having played receiver, are you able to utilize that when you're going up against receivers? Is that kind of dangerous because they might do something different than what
It depends. If you're in good position, then yeah, you can go up like a receiver. And that's the mentality I have playing receiver my whole life. When I see the ball in there, I'm gonna try to go get it. You know. So, but if you're not in position, say you're out of phase or something, then you have to try to like play through them. You can't try to go. Ball skills or not, you can't even try to get the ball to pick it.
When did you learn about the dog mentality, and what does that mean to you?
My freshman year, I didn't really know. You know, going to defense, you don't really have to. You can have a dog mentality in offense, but it's not like defensive minded, like how defense players are. When you say dog mentality, they there, they locked in, they ready to make any play that they can make. They get hyped, they're energetic, they make plays. That's what I think a dog is.
When you talk about using that receiving experience to go up and get balls, how much do y'all or how do you compare going after interceptions versus batting the balls down? How important are turnovers to y'all in the cornerbacks room?
Oh, it's very important. Well, if we can't get the pick, then we're gonna try to get the ball down. It's just, for us, it's the same. You know what I'm saying? Same feeling. Obviously, we want the ball back, but if we can't have it, then it's just another down, another play, and another chance to go get the ball. Yeah.
Was there a guy above you, even if it was last year, this year, who really like broke through to you and you kind of learned from in terms of having major impact in your development at corner?
Well, personally, not really at corner because I was a star last year. I played safety, and I was behind Petrie. So I could really say Petrie had helped me develop the mindset that I'm having and hopefully trying to build on in the future to be more successful. I would say Petrie was probably one of the biggest like role models to look at and try to, be like.
Is there a lesson that stands out to you that he taught you, or?
Just always play. He's always going. That's the biggest thing I took from him. If you're wrong, just play hard. Something might come up. Something might happen where it fixes your mistake. As long as you're always running and going, your mistakes can be fixed.
How cool is it to see a guy that you looked up to now getting ready to take the next step toward the league?
It's really cool. It's really, really cool to see him doing what he did at Pro Day and at the combine. It's really like it makes me want to be able to match that, just because of who he is and how far he's gotten. Like I look at PD as somebody that I could like resemble myself. I could resemble myself as, and if I see that he can do it, then I know that I can do it.
Thanks, AJ.
Sir, thank y'all.